Turn right, then your destination will be on the left.
Look at this!
Over the years, we've had a chance to visit some seriously cool companies, making some seriously cool stuff. Like our visit to Atlas Tube in Detroit, where giant rolls of steel are transformed into sheets and then separated and turned into square tubes before coming out as a truck hitch receiver. Or our stop at Newell Coach in Oklahoma, where their luxury coaches are built from the chassis all the way up to that flawless paint job. And of course, there's factory tours that every RVer should have on their bucket list, like the Tabasco plant in Louisiana, where your taste buds get a bit of a workout.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's already biting?
Oh yeah, got a little bite.
Or Tillamook along the Oregon coast, where cheese is made, sampled, and you can create a picnic charcuterie right from the gift store. And let's not forget the endless supply of ice cream. But this trip is all about leaning into being a tourist. It's super fun and tasty. The point is, we love showing you how things are made, especially when we get to work with the company leaders who are willing to pull back the curtain and give us an all-access pass. Which brings us to today's stop, Zip Dee. Meet Nate Webb. He's the president of Zip Dee and one of the owners. We didn't expect him to roll up on a Segway, and we definitely didn't expect him to be the one installing our awning, but that's exactly what happened. If you already have a Zip Dee manual awning, stick around for Nate's tips on how to use it and keep it clean straight from the source.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. I never knew that.
And if you don't have a Zip Dee awning, it's still pretty satisfying to see the craftsmanship behind a product that's been trusted by owners since the 1960s.
You know, we always want to be at the top in terms of quality. We want to be the standard that everybody else is judged by.
To make things easy, we've added chapter markers below so you can jump to whatever part you're most interested in. And of course, the reason we're here is because our awning got mixed up with a little bit of rain.
Darn it.
But the silver lining, we're going back to the trusty manual awning.
All right, we just met Nate, and he directed us over to another building. I went into the main office, and it's 1970 in there. Absolutely love it. Wood paneling, vintage photos of Bluebird on the wall. I love a company that is just keeping that nostalgic vibe, because that's one of the reasons we like Zip Dee is that, well, the functionality, of course, and the quality, but the fact that it's on the Bluebird bus, 1984, and it still just works perfect. Anyway, I got to give Trish a call because we're going to back into a new building that they've taken over, where they do some of like the residential, you know, the awnings that would go out with the arms over like a patio for residential. So we're going to put the Airstream inside the building, and that's where we're going to do the install.
Hello.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Tell me when to start cranking.
You never stop cranking. You're looking good. Really, really nice. You're tighter on the passenger side than you are on the driver's side.
That's by design.
You look perfect.
Is that good? Oh yeah, it's awesome. All right, I'll disconnect. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. I just got a little mini tour over there because they're making our awning. I saw the fabric.
Uh-huh.
It's so cool to see all the little parts that I'm familiar with, but not together.
You're like, come with me.
Yeah.
Let's have a party together.
When was this written?
Probably in the 70s or 80s, something like that. There's been some updates to it here and there. But...
Seems like we will, if a customer needs new flex key,
Yeah.
we'll send this, and it helps
Oh.
just change the flex key out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, that's what you were getting at, huh?
Yeah, there's a bunch of little strings and pieces, but not much.
if we just do it like this, if we just get up on ladders, feed it down the rail, and then we'll unroll it once it's in there. This is the tough part about doing it this way. Trying to get these holes to line up.
Ooh.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So how did you pick 28?
It's a 21-foot awning, and we usually do the amount of feet of the awning plus 7.
Okay.
And it's a good ballpark for us.
How do you know if you need more or less?
So what we're looking for is when you unroll it, you want it to sit down for you, and then if you give it a push, the spring should take over.
Gotcha.
But
so is it getting harder for you to hold out right now?
Yeah.
Hey.
So we'll take one more off.
Yeah. Got it.
And this is why I wanted to wash my hands before we started, because my hands are all up on this fabric.
All right. Got it, Alex? Yep.
There we go. Yeah, so now our strap will stop it from rolling up there.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. When I set this thing up, first thing I'm always going to do is I'm going to roll up the strap. So it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to, first of all, keep it out of the dirt and keep my strap clean. But then I can also roll it up into a little bunch right here.
Oh yeah, I like how you're doing
and tuck it into this little loop, and it creates kind of a wedge. So if the awning starts to run away on me now, it stops it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. See, I was always rolling up like I don't know, like not like that.
So then you just remove the claw from your step spacer here. You put it over the shaft on your awning here. Now you got 2 ways you can set this rafter. We can set it from the inside by spearing it down like that, or until it clicks. Or if you want to use your body weight to help you a little bit, you can come outside here and just lean back on it until it sets. This cap will lock up into place once that's set. So if I pull that down, it releases that tension.
Oh, I
and
gotcha.
I'll try and roll back up on it. So I'll set my rafter. As I'm extending these arms, I put my body weight against this tube and kind of take the weight off of this stud. And then I can just pop that out with my thumb real easily, and I can go up and down with it.
Gotcha.
And I can walk in and out with it. So when you're underneath this awning, it makes it a lot easier to lift.
Absolutely.
Than if you're out here trying to yank on this bar,
yeah.
If you just kind of walk it up. And we do it one step at a time. So I went up 1 hole here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to this side, and I can go up 2 holes because I'm gonna match it, and then I'll go up 1 more hole, and then I'll come back over here and kind of segment it up. The reason for that is we're trying not to bind it by pushing one side too high. So if it just walks out with it, let go of that snap stud, there you go. It'll actually go up, so there's 3 holes of extension. So we're at the first hole here, and here's the second hole. And then for the 3rd hole, I'm actually going to have to grab the bar here because I'm not quite tall enough. We do make lift handles that go onto the bar right here, and you can kind of push that handle out.
So that's all the way out?
Yep, so this is all the way up here.
With no center bar?
Right.
So that is an option?
Yeah, absolutely.
The center bar takes out a little bit of the sag in the middle?
A little bit of the sag in the middle. So you can see like over the natural, there's a little bit of just natural sag right in the center of it. It just kind of tightens up the center of the fabric. But totally not necessary.
Okay. In the case of rain, which is why I'm here, would you then just take 1 or 2 out of here?
So then what I would do is I'd probably just lower this down all the way to one side. It's way more tilt than you can get with
way more tilted. And then how's the door now with it all the way up?
It's might clear it. It still rubs on it just a little bit.
Okay. Okay, so can we talk real quick about caravan mode?
Absolutely. So caravan mode. You're going to have your arms all the way down here at their lowest point of extension. That one's already down at the bottom. And so for caravan mode, pretty much all you got to do is release this tension here, so it's not trying to hold it out. And then we'll go and release the tension on the other side, and then we can just roll it back up until it stops. I'm gonna pull my strap out so I can get at it again.
Yeah.
And then we can just let this thing roll up until it hits the bends in the arms. And
Okay, this is how I've been using it almost exclusively.
Yeah, this is great.
Because it provides me a little bit of shade, it keeps the shade off the side, and now when
you don't have to really set the rafters, you don't have to...
And when wind comes, unexpected, I can just come out here and I grab this, and I'm safe.
Yeah.
Because I got it in my hand.
Yeah.
And then when wind's really bad, I actually grab this and I just go do the rafters myself while holding this.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Putting it away is going to be just your reverse. So from here, you can probably just pull on this and it'll roll it down. Yep. And so I'm going to actually come and re-roll my strap here. Just because when I take my rafters off, I don't want it to run away from me before I get to it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I'll re-roll this up in here. And that way, when I take my rafters off, it's got a wedge for me.
Gotcha.
So I'll remove this guy from here, and you just place it right on the storage pin here.
Yeah.
The step spacer doesn't really allow you to put it anywhere than where it's supposed to go right there, just on that little recess part. And see, my wedge is now keeping it from rolling up.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. I never knew that.
Get a hook on this so it doesn't get sucked back up in there this time. And then I let the spring tension really close it that last little bit. So I'll use that strap and kind of let it roll until it's about like right here, so just the case is left. And I just let it snap shut. And then we know it's pulling tight up on that spring end, and it's going to be tight up against the trailer there. So.
Interesting. Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't want to get the little pull.
So if you're having problems getting that clamp wheel in the lever, if you just press in on this outer arm a little bit, it pushes it in closer to the trailer, and it takes off the tension. Because what's happening is it's getting stuck right at the edge of the head there. And so when I push on this, it pushes that head just right up against the trailer and it pops right out.
Oh, gotcha.
So we can just kind of tighten that and good to go.
And then as you were saying, that's a positive, what did you call it?
Positive locking system.
Yeah.
So we don't have blow-offs on these things. Our competitors, we'll hear stories about these awnings blow off going down the road. We never have that.
Okay.
Just because we've got this system. And it positively locks that thing to the trailer.
Okay.
For maintenance terms, just lubricate them every once in a while. Shoot
Lubricate
them with silicone
what?
spray.
Like the hinges?
Yeah, exactly. Just any moving parts.
Okay.
So essentially the same way that you would silicone your step, just a moving piece.
What do you do with the fabric? Anything to do with the fabric?
So we'll clean the fabric every once in a while. There's a special process for washing the fabric. You use a soft bristle brush. You suds it up on the outside and inside, get it really, really nice and soaked up and foamed up. And then we'll actually close it and let it sit for about a half hour.
Wow.
Really let the soap work into the weave of the fabric.
Wow, okay.
It's a woven acrylic fabric, so it kind of gets dirt in between the weave, and then it hurts the water retention ability, and it just looks dirty.
Gotcha.
And so if you let it sit in there, really work into the weave, and then you unroll it and just rinse.
What's like a non-detergent soap?
Like ivory soap flakes are good. Yeah, just you don't want to use like clothes detergent like a Downy.
Gotcha.
Or something.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so clean the fabric, what, like annually you're thinking, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Depending on usage, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, once a year might even be overzealous. I mean, you probably do every couple.
So keep the hinges lubricated and wash the fabric as needed.
So like on the bolt where it goes through the aluminum part, so that's a stainless fastener going through an aluminum fitting, so you get a little bit of oxidation there over time. So just to kind of keep that down, you just hit that with lubricant. Where the main bars slide in and out of the tubes when you extend those.
That does require lubrication.
Yeah, you hit those with some silicone too.
And I'd say that's at least annually.
That one I would do probably every 3 months.
Because that's metal on metal.
Yeah. Come on out, bud.
Hi. Okay. Where am I?
Whoa, this is fantastic. Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't that cool?
Oh my god.
That's the same reaction I had.
This is so neat. Wow.
This is where everything starts.
Okay.
So we'll load a roll of fabric onto this table here, and we pull it out to different marks on this table for different slopes of the fabric.
Okay.
So right now he's making a patio. It's going to have this longer slope. Then just buzz across this little rotary cutter, and it creates a panel. So we'll calculate how many panels each awning takes, and we'll cut that amount of panels, and then we stage them in this cart.
Okay.
And here she's sewing all those panels together into a blank.
Gotcha.
So we make pretty much an oversized fabric with all those panels together. And then once that blank is sewn together, so this machine and the one on the end both do the same thing where it's an automatic seaming machine. So what she's doing right there is she's clamped 2 pieces of fabric with an overlap on them, and this machine head comes down. There's an optic sensor on the end of that sewing machine that sees the end of the fabric there. It automatically back stitches, cuts the thread, and returns the head back to the beginning.
Wow. How do you get the flamingo?
The flamingo is in the embroidery shop down the street. So we'll do a panel, and then they mark on the panel where it needs to get cut, where that needs to get embroidered on at. And my brother embroiders it in down at the embroidery shop down the street, and so he brings the panel back to him.
So how does one get a flamingo?
So it's this special new line that Airstream's doing, the flying pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool trailer. It's all blacked out.
I
They
saw
got
it,
black
yeah.
rock guards.
But I didn't know about the flamingo.
Yeah,
That's neat.
little flamingo.
Are there any other, like, you know, Zip Dee Easter eggs?
You know, I think that's about the only one right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done some embroideries over the years. We did a special Pendleton unit for them for the national parks.
Okay.
They had an embroidery out. We did a Quicksilver one before that.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Oh yeah.
We need to get our little hands on the flamingo.
Now that you're doing residential awnings, is there like a different fabric pattern?
No, so we always offer every Sombrella fabric pattern available in their awning and marine collection.
Gotcha.
So there's like 200 colors to pick from. Those all get made over here. They're all handmade. My partner, Jake's brother Matt, who's not here today, he's a full-time firefighter, but he actually made like the first 250 of these by hand.
Really?
And just like he came up with the design for it and made the stuff, and then we got some jigs made so he could repeat it and we could teach other people how to do it. And now Lysandro, who's helping us do the install, does them also.
You're boxing this manual set of arms to send to
Airstream. So first they test it on the wall here. So similarly to how we test everything over there, everything gets built here. So that hardware that we put on your vehicle, it came from here. They built it here and made sure that all these bars slid in and out of the tubes well. They make sure that these teeth are catching on the ratchet stud there. They make sure that our holes line up correctly on the main bar here. On there. Just making sure that the tubes slide in and out of each other correctly, and it gives you a nice visual of like everything's here. Bars.
Okay.
So we can set it up to drill all the holes all at the same time. It's an air over electric system. So these clamps come down and clamp the bar, and then all these drill down at the same time.
Oh, no way.
And they drill all those holes in all at once.
Based upon the template.
Yep. So this cuts the slots into the rafter tubes, and that's where the claw bar goes into. And that little pin in the claw bar slides into this slot, and that's what holds it in place.
Wow.
So we mill the slots into the tubes there. This same machine will swap it over for teeth, and we cut these tooth patterns into these bars here. So they start as just a solid rafter bar, and so that's what those ratchet studs come across and lock the fabric out.
Those are the teeth.
Yep, these are the teeth. Like these, we do a lot of finishing work on them. So they come to us as a raw sand casting that looks kind of like this. And so then we'll first machine it. So we'll drill out this hole. There's a hole here that gets drilled. We'll drill out that hole. After we machine it, we toss it in this media here. It'll run through this porcelain media, takes all the rough edges off of it, and it kind of smooths it out a little bit like that. And then we'll dip it in acid, and we polish them in these ball bearings over here.
It's all ball bearings nowadays.
I I had no idea. This is the coolest thing ever. I feel like I'm in the middle of a Mr. Rogers segment.
I agree.
Right?
I love the how it's built
Yes.
stuff, you know?
Yes. That is so cool. It just gets tumbled in here.
And then how do you find them when they're done?
So they'll actually eject themselves out of here. So we reverse the direction, and then they bring themselves up onto this ramp, and then all the media falls back through the screen. We just put a bucket down here, and they'll fall right out here and into the bucket. It unloads itself.
Wow.
It's real loud. I'll start it up for you for just a second here. So Charles been making our roller tubes since before I was born.
Oh my gosh, 50 years? Yeah. That's amazing.
Way over the time. I know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I came here when I was 18, right out of high school. First job. Now I'm 68 years old. Been 50 years.
Woo, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You want to know the way something got done in the 70s? You can go talk to this guy. So here we make all the roller tubes. So we've got stock tubes up on the rack here that he'll pull them from. And he hand measures them and brings them over to this cold cut saw right here, cuts them down to size. And then he brings the tube over to this dimple pressing machine. That dimple, and that's what captivates it. And that's what we're tensioning. And so we do all the assembly of that. So we drill and tap this, put the dowel rod in the center of it, screw that onto there. We have to stretch the spring up to this spot, put this rivet through it, bend it into place. We actually cut this steel collar and put it onto the dowel rod as well. We drill out this casting and assemble that. So there's a good amount of assembly stuff that goes into it. Yeah. What we'll start with is they take a piece of fabric off of the cart, and they check the size of the fabric. They marked it off on their sheet, and then they went and grabbed the corresponding case. So this case is going to be exactly the same length as this fabric, and they'll slide the fabric into the channel in the bottom case slat here, and then to lock it into place, we flip the case over, and at every seam they're going to take a pair of vice grips, and they kind of just crimp down the material where it's extra thick on the seam.
Gotcha.
So each of the fabrics has got this pocket sewn into it, and depending on the size of the awning, it'll have a different size roller tube. So this is a window awning, so it's going to have a 2.5-inch roller tube. So we're grabbing that there.
I thought it looked kind of short.
Yeah. It only comes out a couple of feet.
And what color is that fabric? What model would that be to?
So this will be for a flying cloud. This is that silica gravel.
Okay.
Incredible.
It's really cool.
Intricate. So many details.
Yes.
Yes. That's why they last so long. About the beginning of the company, like how it started, where we are today.
So it was started back in the 60s by a guy named Henry Duda, and he was an avid Airstreamer, and he was a part of the Wally Bynum Club, and they used to go to the rallies and have fun with their friends, and he and his wife would get in a lot of disagreements about their bag awning that they would set up. They used to have these old awnings that you would slide into the awning rail, and then there were these 3-piece poles that you would put together, and you put them in the thing, and you'd stake them out. So it was like an old school tent, essentially.
Sure.
I mean, you set it up in front of the thing. And they were going to go on a caravan. She's like, I'm not going on this caravan. We're going to put out the damn awning. He's like, all right, well, I better make something better. So he was a dairy farmer. So he had a dairy farm. And so he was real familiar with like aluminum and stainless and dealing with those materials. And so he just kind of crafted himself a retractable awning for his own Airstream and made it pretty much the same way that ours are made now. He pretty much designed the thing that way and put it on his vehicle and went to the rally, and his friends saw it and they're like, I want one. And so he was installing them like on roadsides for his friends. He was like making them in his garage. And like,
Airstreams were smaller then.
Yeah. So he opened this place in 1967, and he ran it until I think the early 90s.
Okay.
His daughter and son-in-law took over, Bob and Judy Miller. And they ran it for maybe 10 or 12 years. And then when they were looking to sell it, my dad had been working here, and it was his job to take through like the new people that were prospective buyers for the place. And he's walking them through, and they're going, oh, well, we can move this department to our factory in Pennsylvania. We can move this department to our factory here. He's like, I'm not going to have a job if we sell this place. So he and a couple other longtime employees just pulled together everything they could, and they bought the company from the original owners. The time came, and we bought them out in 2019, and we've been trying to do what we can to modernize it. You know, my dad and his two partners, they were real big on, you know, well, it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, it's been working for 40 years this way. Let's just keep doing it this way. So yeah, but there might be better ways to do things. So we've
yeah, but you have a respect for the history, which I think is
100%.
Yeah, which
right,
and I think that's the key difference, right?
Yeah, and you know, I grew up here. And,
yes.
So like pretty much every department out there has got my handprints in it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, people around.
Thank you. Wow. These are so cool. We're going to show these a good time. Here we go. That was a blast. We had a parting gift. I cannot wait to serve something fun on this.
I know, it's going to be great.
Oh, that's so great.
I like totally exceeded my expectations.
I know you're a very happy camper right now.
I am such a happy camper. Seriously. I don't know, just like the whole vibe over there.
Nice.
Hi. And then you put them down like this, okay? They go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.